Yo, King Jesus, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Hey, chat's working. I'm excited. Yeah. How's it going, my G? I hope the. Oh, actually, I just realized you're probably not getting any music at all. This happens every time. The update or something? Like, what the hell? There we go. Now the music should kick in. It's this whole thing with fucking. I need to make like artist talks and streams into two different scenes so that it doesn't screw me. Yeah, you should be hearing music now, I hope. I'm chilling, bro. What's writing up some content, scheduling promo post. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for your project. I'm excited to look at it. I'm just gonna test something real quick. Yeah, okay, chat's readable. Yeah, it's finding music for stream is hard now. Everything gets fucking claimed. It's actually it's starting to get really annoying. And then I've been messing around. Right now, I'm currently, while we're waiting for more people to show up, I'm messing around with some VQGAN stuff, and it's pretty nice. The Google collab thing, it's pretty cool. Yeah, even the royalty-free stuff. No, that's what. But it's essentially like you're limited to like one sort of, or two genres, right, or three genres, right? And it's like hip hop, copyright free, lo-fi, copyright free, synthwave, copyright free, or even like maybe house, copyright free. And usually they all start to utilize the same songs, or they start to sound like they all just sound the same. So, and it's like sometimes royalty-free songs get copyrighted, like the artist decides to copyright them, and then the whole mix is essentially compromised. I had that happen with I think last stream, or the stream before, where I was like, hey, copyright. Yeah, it was the hip hop stream. It's not the hip hop stream, but the stream with the hip hop music in it, and it was like, hey, copyright free, and then one dude got his beats copyrighted because I think he got big or something. It's in. I'm just gonna drink a sip of water. You excited to look at XCOPY's art today? I'm fucking excited. Art, always and forever. That is the plan. Literally, I have art generating right over here as we speak. I gotta pay for that shit though, just to get like, what's VQGAN? So VQGAN is essentially what Quasimodo uses. So if you, it's word prompt AI. So for Quasimodo, for example, a bunch of this sort of stuff is like, oh, you enter it and you're like clown, right? And so for this, for example, this here, the prompt for it was painting of nude figures in room with window, and then I wanted it to be colorful. That it is loud as hell. Jesus. So it's essentially like what he has. So essentially all of this is free for us to use, right? And so if I go right here, well, I just had it here. If I go and search VQ GAN clip, you'll get the GitHub right away. It's free to use. It's not about the GitHub. It's a matter of okay, I do have it. I'm just blind. It's just a matter of CPU and GPU. You need to have like the latest RTX card, and you need essentially for anything over 512 by 512, you sort of need a 24 gig VRAM, so an RTX 390, right? An RTX, something like that. And then ideally you have like 8 of those to get this shit out quick and fucking at really high res. But yeah, it's literally just word prompted AI, and I recommend. I think I shared here. I'll drop this in the Duat residency chat. This is what I use. It's version 2, I think, and it's made to be much simpler. And you can find I found a video for this, but you essentially you get rid of. You'll get rid. I'll make a stream about it on Sunday, because then it'll be easier to explain the whole shebang. It's still sourcing parts for PC. My homie's going to build it for me. Nice. Yeah, I got a. We have a good. Me and my girl have a good PC. It just I just gotta get upgrade the graphics card in the future, right? And then I'm also banking on the fact that the AIs themselves will develop to be faster in the future and much more efficient, right? Like only recently are we getting this GAN stuff, right? Like into the full forefront, right? And even though Style GAN I think was like released like 4 years ago or something, right? So that we have to wait for technology to catch up with this stuff. But yeah. Saucy's typing something in the Discord. Yeah, the only annoying thing about that Google collab is the free version essentially like locks you out for a day after some time. You have a limit, and then you have to pay for it, and it's like $16 for the Pro version, and then it's $64 a month for like the Pro Plus version. It's fucking I'm just gonna check what I know of this project. Yeah, if anybody's curious, I was recommending Saucy, who does the NFT buzz in the Metakey Discord, to do the BGAN project. It's what's well, it's not in my profile actually, but it's on my Twitter. Which anyways, I think, well, I'm gonna go get some water, get some real quick, and then I'll be back, and then we'll get going looking at the XCOPY art and all that jazz. It's gonna be fun. His art style is fucking wild, insane. Alright, I am back. Here, let me disable the starting soon, and we'll get going. Hello everybody. Hello and welcome to our artist breakdown. Usually, as always, these happen on Friday, but for this week, Daniel, the guest for tomorrow's talk, it was only available tomorrow at night, and so I had to switch some stuff around. But yeah, tomorrow's artist talk is still happening, or this week's artist talk is still happening. It's just happening tomorrow, a little bit late. I'm thinking it might actually just be fully streamed directly to YouTube instead of recorded and then uploaded to YouTube, because it's just gonna take a lot longer and just processing. But I have to figure out the audio thing for it, because the audio sometimes can be you know. May I look forward to that if you're curious. But anyways, I am your host, I guess. I guess I'm doing this like full intro now. King, for anybody's curious, King Jesus is in the chat. But yeah, welcome everybody to the stream. I'm your host, Anubis3100. Today we're doing our artist breakdown. But if you ever want, before that, let me get my little, I guess, like promotional I don't know what the hell you call, like my socials out the way. Yeah, if you ever want to get in contact with me, you can either tag me in the Duat residency channel or anywhere in the Metakey Discord, and I'll respond to you over there, or tag me at Anubis_3100 on Twitter, and I'll respond to you. I'm pretty responsive over there. Also, if you ever feel like supporting my art, I have a few collections. I have this project available on Foundation. It's my latest project. So if anybody wants to support the art that I make, it is available here. And also, I have links on my website. This is my website right here. It's pretty fucking... I gotta say, I like my website design. I think it's the coolest fucking thing on the planet, low-key. Well, high-key. I think it's... Yo, check this out. You see this? Oh, thoughts. Right? And then you just scroll, of course. Rest in peace, MF Doom, the mad genius. You were saying every time I see XCOPY's art, I think about selling everything just so I can own a one of one. Listen, at the rate of how things are going, it might actually be a good financial move. The one Discord Camry gang, if you know, you know. Facts. And then I don't know what the fuck I did here, but this is my website is my baby, and here are the pages for the residency. Although that needs to be updated, and this will take you to where my projects are, if you want to check out what I have done. And one last thing is these are the direct links to my collection. But yeah, cool. I think my website is cool. Now we got that part out the way. You've been seeing the title. I've talked about it a little bit. I don't know what just popped up, but today we're gonna be looking at the art of XCOPY, the insane artist. And I mean, if you want to talk about somebody who's influential in the space stylistically and story-wise and all that jazz, it's XCOPY. Like, hands down. Not you know, it's no joke. It's no joke. It's like, they've been creating since fucking Tumblr days. Like, old, like, Tumblr days. You feel me? And so, that sort of thing needs to be rewarded. And it is now. Their art is selling for, like, $1 million. It's crazy. So yeah, go follow them on Twitter. Their art is insane. At XCOPY Art, literally all capitals. That's them. And for today's little stream, I also realized the music has just gotten a bit too loud. Man, I hate this live, like, catch up with the music type stuff. It's like, goddamn. But we're gonna be looking at his work over on Super Rare, because that's where he primarily mints, or they primarily mint. The gender of XCOPY is unknown, and most importantly, is unimportant. It has no effect on the basis of the art whatsoever. So, as always, we're gonna quickly look through some things and select a few pieces. We're gonna select this one because it was in New York on the NASDAQ billboard. We're gonna select this one because it just broke. Fuck, this just happened. I'm pretty sure. One of these, a sale just happened that broke $1 million. This right here. So we're gonna look at this one as well. This one's old, so this one's pretty old. Yo, King, since praying for a good crypto exit within the next month, I can buy his work, even if it's a multi-edition. Yo, it's on OpenSea. You can find some pretty. Like on OpenSea, his floor is not, or their floor is not that high. XCOPY's floor is not that. XCOPY, their floor is not that high at all. Actually, that's high. Never mind. Fuck. I apologize. Well, I mean, technically compared to super rare prices, the floor is not that high, but it's because it's a multi-edition. It's the Afterburn. Then he has Guzzler, which is also one of my favorite ones. I really like Guzzler. It's like Gas Guzzler. But there is still a chance. I mean, like 6 point. I mean, it's up to you, King, right? If you consider 6.3 expensive or not. To me 6.3 is expensive, but that's because I have yet to make, like an ETH sale or an ETH flip. I've had the chance once, but I chose to hold my begans tight. I wanted to look at this, and then we're gonna look at this one because this, I'm pretty sure it's actually fractionalized on Fractional.io, and then we're gonna scroll. What is these actually? Wow. Oh my god. This is sometimes why I don't look at super rare, because it depresses the fuck out of me. 4 ETH sold for $500. My god. Yeah, we're gonna look at some of these. Compared to super rare, yeah, so yeah, I know. Compared to my budget though. Oh fuck. Yo, I look at I look at shit and I'm like, well, I cry. My MetaMask doesn't cry. My MetaMask just loves the interaction, I guess. Fuck. It hurts. I mean, when you see something like that, oh, somebody got an XCOPY for 100. Mother. Let's see. What is that? Yeah, let's select one last piece. I mean, bro, oh my. Whoever got XCOPY's piece for $74. Q. I am suffering. And no doubt about it. Here, I like this one. It shows actual skill. Well, it's not to say that XCOPYs of the work is unskilled, but it shows like it shows more technical like and drawing skill that you see in their other works, and it's pretty cool. Here I realize chat has now. So chat, okay, calm down. I can move this on. Welcome to my chat woes. And then I'm just gonna reduce this to like this much now, because then it should just keep going up, and it's like a live feed that disappears. That I don't. It's supposed to disappear, chat, but it's not, and I don't know why. It's like legitimately, like chat is supposed to be able to disappear every 200 milliseconds or something like that. But it is what it is. So I guess we will look at. We'll start looking. Yeah, we'll always go left to right. I'm just gonna grab a sip of water. And get on. I could never find the IPFS folders. Open image in new tab. Why is this one open all the way there? Here we get the full quality at least. So this is what? I'm so confused. Where did the work go? There we go. And so this is the good men who do nothing, right? And it says nothing in the description. XCOPY, guilt, art. So this is pretty direct, right? Pretty straightforward. One thing that I was planning, and I'm planning to talk about, right, within these artworks is they have a certain like technological and illustrative nature to them, and we're going to be focusing mostly on that because XCOPY's work like allows for some like conceptual reading, but not too much, right? It's some of his older stuff, or their older stuff. I gotta get this he she thing out of here. Their older stuff is well, some of it's like satirical in a sense, right? And so this is pretty much straight on the nose, right? when good men who do nothing, and we're getting an illustration of a person that looks like a skull. Now it's known that XCOPY likes to utilize skulls, right? A little bit of a aesthetic difference than usual is when you're getting a little bit of an aesthetic difference than usual is usually when you're depicting themes of guild, right? You get usually dark imagery, and the color tones are usually, I keep saying usually a lot, the color tones tend to go towards dark and warm tones, right? Here we're getting sort of a magenta look, which is pretty, like, now looking at it, I'm like, that's actually, it doesn't deter from the meaning of the work, right? It doesn't deter from the viewer sort of understanding this work is commenting on those who choose to not act at all, right? And those who remain neutral in situations that don't need neutrality at all, right? But it's also the use of color. Now, one thing you gotta notice about XCOPY's work in this whole, in almost all his things actually, except in sometimes, well, I think it might appear when we zoom in on the other ones, but it's that little like grid. Now, I don't know what sort of program allows you to get this sort of visual aesthetic consistently, right? One can say it's Photoshop, and sometimes it does feel like it's Photoshop, but I don't know, part of me feels like there's like a different program being utilized, or the images are being produced in Photoshop and then put through another program, or it's a combination of both, right? This could be sort of like a threshold image, and then it does a little bit look like an actual threshold image, and then take it into a program and added the noise and the grid, right? Because if we zoom in, that's my favorite thing, is you can zoom in on this, because I'm pretty sure it's GIF, right? Look at the visual data that's in there. He could actually, or they could, god damn it, they could be utilizing the same program max capacity is utilizing, which I have it somewhere. This program that allows you to get this sort of grid in these shapes. That's part of my thinking. Right, and just look at that. Just it also could be a program like Blender, right, or Houdini, just a texturing program, because you can get these sort of textures with the 3D programs now. They're so advanced that it's sort of easy to do. Funny enough, you can actually pixelate your 3D scenes and get that like pixel look from Mario or whatever the fuck, like old school games, but it won't. It'll be 3D, so you get like so much depth. It's actually crazy. And then, I mean, just look at the like the difference of texture, right? And it's like as if there is there's 2 layers being animated, right? It's this fuzz that's happening here that appears like it's 1 layer of noise actually, right? And then this in the background is also 1 layer, but it could be like an audio spectrum. It feels as if it's an audio spectrum, a visualized audio spectrum, right? Which is pretty cool. Like, you know, it makes you think that they use did they use like an audio to generate the background that's important to the work? Maybe, you know, like did they use news from the 2008 financial collapse, stuff like that, right? And as an artist, when you utilize this, it sort of adds a layer of depth to the work, right? Like say you're making a piece about when good men do nothing, and you're like, I'll utilize the audio of the news cycle from the 2008 Wall Street financial crash, right? And you just use the coverage to generate the background. Now, they didn't say anything in the description, but if that's in the description, you can see how that creates like an even deeper level of depth. Well, no, about an even deeper level of conceptuality to the work, right? And a deeper level of critique to the work, right? The fact that something like that could have been used. Welcome to talking about art. Now, if you're wondering, to anybody watching the stream and they're like, what the hell, why are you doing this? Usually when I first started out doing art content for Metakey, these would usually be like a written breakdown on One Piece, and you know, I would sit and think about it for a week and stuff, and then so these are a little bit different, and I do look at the work beforehand and all that jazz, but it's still what the way I'm speaking is, you know, how I would think and then put it into words after like a day, and then relook at it and maybe change it. I'm the worst writer. No, I have a bad habit of, well, I don't know. Well, I was not let's just say I wasn't a good essay writer per se in school. Like, not consistency wise, but let's just say I wasn't the best, you know, at timing wise. I took my time with some of those essays, and so with this one, we are looking at. I hate it when it does this. Crypto Art Land. They really gotta get this super rare thing. Like, yo, how are you gonna cut off the name like that? Disrespectful. Crypto Art Land welcomes you. Flips table. So what is this for, actually? Artist statement, Laurel and Possum. I actually quite like this. I really quite like this because it's poking fun at what you sort of need to pass by in like the normal fine art world. I have some, like, I don't have my artist statement, but I personally have some like this. Right? If you go to my about, about thing. I have like, you know, like exhibition, education, special projects, collection, right? And it's sort of like, it's sort of the same thing. Um, and so this is poking fun at when it says welcome to crypto land, right? Because we know about this sort of technological paradigm shift, and also a big origin of NFTs, and a big part of why artists come into NFTs now is to not avoid, but to essentially not be dependent on the fine art world structures that are out there within real life. You know, like, you artists don't have to depend on museums and galleries and shady backroom deals and shady sales, and, you know, I'll give you exposure and all that jazz. Um, with crypto and NFTs, it's sort of those, if you call them shackles, if you will, are sort of broken off, right? You're on your own, and it's a bit of a harsher market, but this sort of thing is no longer needed, right? And it's sort of been a bane to all artists. Like, even myself being asked to write uh, an artist statement, I fucking hated it. I was like, what the an artist statement? Like, are you serious? Just talk to me as an artist if you're curious about my art, right? I'm pretty sure the names and the description I include in the artworks will explain to you, right? And sometimes you'll be required to have artist statements for your exhibitions and such, and so it's I really enjoy this work. You also see how XCOPY has figured out that animation doesn't need to be complex at all. Now they're a proponent of a very heavy animative style. I won't lie. It's their stuff is sometimes feels as if it's seizure inducing, right? But it's their style, and here they show their ability to sort of pull back a little bit off of that, you know, and essentially utilize the movement of three things and then just noise. Just it shows where animation shines, right? Because, I mean, I don't want to compare their animation to anime because they're so different, right? But anime depends on, if you look at it, a lot of anime usually has a few things only animated in the scene. Like, how many times, you know, could you tell, like, in a Dragon Ball Z anime, which rock was about to fucking fall over because of how it was drawn, and then that was the only thing that got animated, right? And so with this, it's sort of utilizing that trick of simple animation, but the effective use, right? The texturing on the paper already informs you that there is destruction, and then it also feels as if it's burned, right? And then you have just basic flame, and even sort of like a childlike flame, right? But it still reads very well. It has little, I wish we could pause this, but I can't. It has little dots around it, right? And it has the flame. It carries the sense of movement very well for a flame, if you will, right? And then you just have the eyes looking at it, and usually, right, whether you're depicting comics or not, or cartoon characters or not, the wide-eyed expression is usually used to show interest or awe, right? And sometimes shock, but it's a very, like, expressive expression, right? And so there, it immediately informs you, yeah, burn that artist statement. I do not care, and it's true. I mean, how many big names have you seen enter the space that you're just like, eh? Like, and when I say big names, I don't mean like big artists. No, I'm talking about celebrities and such. How many have joined and just we're like, nah, I won't grow this, or we're the community, we're like, nah, bye, see ya, right? So there is that sense, and I really like the awards thing, because so many people are like, oh, do you have any art awards? Fuck no. Like, do you know how fucking annoying competitions actually are? You know, like, how subjective that shit legitimately is for it. Like, first of all, for art competitions, right? Now, awards can be a little bit different, but if we're talking about an award for a competition, right? Like, stylistically, everybody likes stuff that's so subjective. And God hope that the people judging the competition and are artists, right? Because sometimes people make the weirdest decisions, right? And so it's that, and then exhibitions, like, hey, how many? You'll find a lot of galleries or people who are like, oh, how many exhibitions have you had, as if that's a unit of measurement of success, right? And with crypto, you can make any exhibition you want, right? I legit, this is my little art trick, and I don't care, right? And this is in the spirit of crypto art land welcomes all of us, right? And to anybody listening, is I include my own cyber galleries in my artist CV, and I don't care. And if anybody tells me, oh, that's not like an official sort of gallery, and it's not an official exhibition, right? Because it didn't happen in a gallery, or it didn't happen in a university, for example. Like, what's the difference, right? Like, legitimate, what's the difference? It's just a room. Like, if we're talking about the legitimate difference, there's none. And if we're talking about the connections that are established, you have a far better chance of establishing connections in crypto art land. So I really quite like this work. It's pretty fun, but it offers like an insight on the paradigm shift that's about to happen, and it's about to change up the art world. It's gonna be great. Anyways, we will move on to Five Eyes. Tastes like hairspray. I wanted to look at this because this was cool, and then I wanted to say that this is one of their fractionalized. The owner of the, oh wow, that just took the fucking words out of my mouth. Look at the texture. Wow. I'll move chat up. Oh, thank you, Brave. Look at the texture that's in the eyes. It's in the bones. Like, sort of, not the texture, but like the texture and the outline around the bones, right? But primarily the texture that's in the flame around the eyes. Right, dude? It's look at the little depth trick that's happening here. Right, XCOPY is not an artist that I feel personally has developed the style because of their lack of skill. No, but has developed the style because of how good their skill is, that they're able to like mess around with such stuff and have it be fully readable. I hope I'm right on that. I legitimately completely forgot what I was saying about this. Oh yeah, so this is fractionalized on fractional.io, and I'm pretty sure you could own like a fraction of this for like it's somewhat cheap, and it's I'm a big believer in the fractionalization of big works that have hit a certain value. Primarily because I believe that it's the only sort of option for museums with all these collections moving forward to like solidify their collections and the value completely, is to fractionalize them and allow us, the public, to be able to own and invest in their collections. Therefore, there is far more incentive to keep the value up, right? And I guarantee what's gonna happen. the Mona Lisa will be fractionalized. This is quite cool. 5 eyes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you can tell XCOPY's work. Some of it's pretty just lighthearted work and funny work, right? And it's right. All the work sort of has a funny theme, except for this one. This one's pretty dark. But even then, the pink I would say is a little bit lighthearted in a sense, but Hairspray tastes like hairspray. Is that from the movie Hairspray? If anybody's curious, there is a movie called Hairspray where John Travolta plays a mom, I believe. Yeah, it's like weird grease, or like yeah. It's a weird fucking movie. I don't recommend anybody watch it. I mean, if you want to have a weird laugh, and oh wow, Yeah, it does actually have Queen Latifah in there. I'm a big fan of Queen Latifah and Alec Baldwin. I hope that's Alec Baldwin. No, that's not Alec Baldwin at all. Alec Baldwin is the dude that just shot it right there. Christopher Walken's, that's his name. Bro, I just completely confused two people. And they're not even alike in any way. Yeah, look how nice this is. And it's like part of me is thinking in regards to like work like this. I watched the first 2 minutes of Hairspray and turned it off. Lol. I used to watch it when I was a kid because it was like one of those movies that I had on my hard drive, and then after a while, right, you're like, oh, I couldn't do it. You know, for me, it's like I read into like back in Egypt, internet was so bad, right, that I had to wait for my friends to download the movies on their hard drives using their internet. And so at times I would run into essentially like movie shortages, right? Where it's like I'm just like I've watched everything that I had on my hard drive. And so I've seen Hairspray a few times. Maybe one too many times than I like to admit. Please do not stare at me like this five-eyed creature is staring at me. Please. So for this, I guess I gotta give a little bit of a seizure warning, because their work is I think in their collection it actually says seizure warning. So we're gonna open that. It says we work boy Minty with free Wi-Fi. Cyber gift portrait. Made an offer of 100 ETH 8 months ago. Oh, of course it's 4156. I think we know what 4156 is. I think well, I don't follow him, but that's Punk 4156. So this is We Work Boy. Oh my god. Here. Let me. This is. I mean. Yeah, let's. I'll keep it that way. But look at. Jesus. It's like noise galore. Yeah, I'm telling you, they know how to paint. I'm telling you, look at that. I have a feeling they know how to paint. They absolutely know how to paint and draw. 100%. Also, look at that. And then the noise in the background. And just the water. It does feel minty. Like the colors do sort of give that minty feeling. And then there's like fog in the background. Yeah, that's actually wild. And you can see the grid in the fog. A little bit here. Or like the trees, maybe? Pop like the hand. Hey, free Wi-Fi! If you will. Even there's bubbles. Wow. Look at that. There's bubbles inside the mouth, yo. Because it's minty, right? And then around the phone, wow, it's like sort of simple animation happening so quickly that it just like, wow, it feels like there's a lot happening, but it's just layers of a few simple frames, legitimately just sped up pretty quickly, right? Look how much visual information you're getting very quickly, right? Not to bring in anime again, but that's another reason why anime is so good at what it does, is because of how quick it's able to relay visual information to you. Thank you, every seen a painting? If you know that, King Jesus, yo, you a G. And if anybody on stream, if you don't know every seen a painting, that channel is no longer active and hasn't been active for a good while, but their videos are still up, and it's really good, like informative videos about movies. Will make you appreciate cinema like in a light you've never seen before. It's great. But yeah, they have an episode talking about anime, and they talk about how good anime is able to utilize quick 3-frame animation, 4-frame animations, um, to relay its visual information. And here, XCOPY utilizes that sort of 3-frame, 2-frame, 3-4-frame animation technique to just boom, like essentially just overwhelm you with colors and texture and noise. I'm just curious, like what's the sound that's being generated in the background? Because to me, I those are audio spectrums. 110% these are audio spectrums. No joke. Right? It's like, but look at the detail there, and the gradient in that little key. Wow. It is quite insane. And it's funny, as Billy was like, I was recording a little video. He was like, man, you gotta stop saying wow, you say that a lot. I'm like, it's great work, what do you want me to say? Hey, you really like this one. Yeah, oh, man. It has like a nice sense of energy to it. It's like, you feel like you want to scream. Now I can't scream. I would have screamed on stream, but it's midnight right now, so I'll get destroyed. But look at that, and just again, it's the visual information that's being like relayed. And also, I just noticed that the audio spectrum sort of layer is in front of the trees. So it's like, there's like a nice sense of depth to the work as well. It's great. This was We Work Boy. Yeah, you can feel the energy of, yeah, we work, boy. We out here making art, and the vault literally has 100 ether bid on it. I'm curious what this vault holds. It's open here. Let's see. Huh? I guess that 100 ETH offer is no longer there. Hey, at least they own multiple X copies. They have a listed one? Damn, 13 million, Jesus Christ. And 4 million. The amulet 3D model. I did mention the use of 3D models. Interesting. I'm just fucking around. We will move on to the next work. We have 4 more works to look at. So this one is 10th Floor Ethics. Dagger in the heart, fire in the mind. I'm pretty sure this is about, wow, XCOPY accepted an offer of 4.5 from Whale Shark. The fuck? Oh yeah. Hey, opportunities like this will always happen. Always. Trust me, there's no shortage of great art that deserves millions. Hey, who knows? Maybe both of us one day. We gonna get it. We gonna get it, King. One day, both of us, we're gonna sell artworks for millions. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So I'm pretty sure this is about, working in a corporate job on the 10th floor, because, I think, now, I haven't had a corporate job at all. I just literally graduated out of art school and jumped in this bitch. Pretty quick. And I know we will, there we go. We in this together, King Jesus. We gonna get it. But so I've never had a corporate job, but I through my through me watching movies and listening to music and stuff, I've realized that corporate jobs can be somewhat hell. And there's like weird class hierarchies that happen within these corporate jobs, right? And they can even come down to floors. Oh, you work on that floor, right? I mean, funny enough, one of my favorite TV shows, the IT the IT crew, right? It's a UK show. Their IT crowd is in the basement. And like that's a comment. It's like, oh, where is it? Where you? Oh, you have this view. You work in this place. Yeah. Where will I be working? In the basement. Wow. Damn. Right. And so there's that weird sense of corporate hierarchy. But funny enough, right? Dagger in the heart, as in you're stabbed, right? And fire in the mind. And so it's like it essentially it's commenting on the backstabbings and the weird shit that happens in corporate jobs, and also like the intense, well, I don't want to say intense, right, but the will and the devotion some people have to their corporate job because they wanna make it up, right, and they're surrounded by people who stab them in the heart, right, and that's sort of evident by the knife and bleeding right here, but also by these electric wires, because two things, right? They help drive the whole idea of like corporate office work, and also snakes, because snakes in the corporate place, yo, right? Snakes do exist in every field. Don't get twisted about that. Snakes be everywhere, right? But it's really quite evident, right, that these snakes are after your ideas, and it's when you're an artist, that's more evident, right? Like how many artists well, here, actually, that's a better example, right? Like Marvel and DC get to use Spider-Man and all that, but you know, like how many artists have come up with different variations, or who's the original artist that drew some character that's now being used by these companies that doesn't get royalties, right? They don't even own their own creation, right? And so you sort of get to still see that in the snakes, because like that sort of culture is evident in the art field, because the art field can also somewhat get sort of corporative. Is that the word? Like the art field can function like a corporation 110%. Just look at Christie's, I mean, or Sotheby's. It's funny enough, I was on the street the other day walking in Montreal, and Sotheby's is into real estate, selling a house, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy that shit. I own a Dutch Tide. No, that was a joke. That's a little shout out to Dutch insane artists in the space as well. But yeah, I mean, I really quite like the usage of colors, red, pink, and green, right? Pastel-y colors, right? You haven't seen that sort of tone use in like critique-like works, and works that critique, well, anything really. It's right, because it feels a bit lighthearted, but here it's effective. Yeah, shout it. Hey yo, if Dutch is watching this, you see, even King knows about you, fam. Dutch, big names in the space. I'm pretty sure his name's getting out with his banner project. I mean, I have that shit as my banner. Fuck. Hey, it's the I legitimately look forward to the future of Dutch's work. I think, what is it, Jimmy or Nathan Head on Twitter was saying Dutch's work is essentially like the next form of blue chip, and I was like, I fully believe it. The amount of work that man is putting into this stuff is equivalent to what XCOPY did, creating 140 things. You know, it's insane. And, you know, I'm just gonna appreciate this tie and this noise and this pixelation that's happening a little bit. It's just so visually pleasing, and it just so fast. Again, I keep mentioning the speed, but the speed is one of the reasons why this is so effective. If this was slower than it wouldn't be as effective. Like, it would still be cool, but you would notice a few things. And not saying that they're bad, but it's like the roughness of these works are aided by the speed of the animation. They would be harmed a little bit, and the aesthetic would be harmed a little bit if they were slow, because then you would be able to spot out too much roughness. I personally think. You watch the interview, his shit's insane. I remember waking up one time, and I literally remember waking up, going on Twitter before my work, and seeing him release this, and I was like, you know what? I had the 0.08 ETH at the time. Right, not knowing that would be pretty much close to like $500 now, something like that. And I bought his Rustic series number 2, and yeah, that shit's, we holding that for life. I told him, I remember telling him in DMs, that shit house, straight up. And so, well, here, we'll look at this pretty quickly. This is the summer.jpg, and I wanted to show this because I really quite like it. It's just a light-hearted work that's just supposed to celebrate summer being here, but also NFT pump season that happened in the summer when XCOPY started getting a lot more views or just exposure to their work. Right, their work started exploding like a year ago, but over this last summer, it really went up, right? And so this was also in NFT NYC, and so well, no, maybe not in NYC, but it was on the Nasdaq board in like Times Square or something. I've never been to New York. I'm Egyptian. I always make that joke when I can. But I think I just quite like it because it's just a light-hearted work. It's just, like the way they use noise is just, it's beautiful. It's legitimately beautiful. Like you can see like sort of monochromatic noise, right? And monochromatic doesn't have to be black. It's just one color and darker, right? And so blue and black. Right, and then it's utilized on the pink just to like bring it out. Lol. Yeah, I used to make that joke all the time, and people look at me weird in Canada. They're like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Yeah. Oh well." Yeah, look how nice this texture is. Like, damn. You feel like you could almost scrub it, you know? I'm pretty sure. I was telling somebody this, like, once we have full-on haptic feedback gloves that are pretty good, right? You just get a bump map that can detect like this level of noise, right? And get it into 3D. Put the bump map on top of the picture, right? So it sort of gets that depth, and then in VR with your haptic feedback gloves, you can feel the texture. Right? And everybody's like, what do I need the physical for? Why should I use into painting? It's, you know, because like texture still translates from physical to digital very well regardless, right? And look how good, like look how nice this JPEG is. Right? Like imagine if you could touch that and feel it. Hey, who knows? Maybe one day. JPEGs, that's what we're doing right here. We're buying and selling JPEGs. For now, at least. And GLB files. Gotta say that. GLB files. We all gonna make it champagne bottle with the bubbles. And the smiley face with the money. It's great. Yeah, I mean, imagine how they're feeling right now with their royalties kicking in. Big ups to them. Look at just the X on the eyes, and man, I really like the noise. Their use of noise is insane. Even at the top, you can sort of see like part of me is like I keep zooming in and out, but here that little dark spot, it's like maybe they're using a pen. Who knows? Tablet, right? I mean, it's great. Here we go. Yo, who makes this? What the hell is this? What the hell is this? 1 point. That ain't cool. How much was this bought for, actually? Hey. Who bids like this? 0.5s, wow. Nah. Sold for close to $1 million. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm curious to what XCOPY will do if they start to include like descriptions. I'm curious what they'll talk about and what they'll discuss. Now, XCOPY 2018. This is old. The reason I was just showing this is because this just sold 5 hours ago for $6 million. Legit 5 hours ago. I retweeted it when it went. Like somebody was celebrating it. It was like, oh wow. Like damn. JPEGY just got themselves a nice fucking. Oh. No way, is it electric method? No. Electric meat. Never mind, I'm blind. I was gonna be like, yo, electric method. Good job, sir. This was, let's see how much was this. Oh my god. Wow. 139. Mikado made an offer on this. It's actually crazy. Yeah, that's insane, fam. A coin for the ferryman. Banker Bitcoin, right? So it's 6 million. Jesus, yeah, man. 6 million. Hey, $6 million. Yeah, respect to them, goddamn, they deserve it. So many of my professors still would look at this and would not respect this level of work. And you don't need them to respect it because XCOPYs doesn't need their validation. Good for that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you can see how good their work got, right? You can't zoom in as much as on this as the other one, right? So quality alone, color usage alone, is still utilizing the same quick sense of speed, right? Then a coin for a ferryman to, signifying like like bankers are the ferryman to Hades, right? And the coin that you give them is fucking Bitcoin, right? And they take you to your suffering, or so. I get it. It's a little bit dark, I guess, or maybe into like a new world, right? It's the underworld, but it is technically a new world. It's actually pretty cool. Or maybe we're the bankers, or maybe we're the ferrymen. I don't know this one, but again, it's, respect somebody, both of them eating good tonight. Yeah, and I mean, after 4 years of just creating and selling your work for $100 and some, it deserves, right? Just to be like this early, and it's like equivalent to like selling 10 pizzas, but just different, like the what is it, 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. Was that a known artist? Who's a known artist? XCOPY? Also, lady, welcome to the stream. Are you asking about JPEGY? If you're asking about XCOPY, yeah, they're a known artist. They're one of the biggest names in space. God damn. JPEGY just created a super rare account and spent $6 million. I mean, yeah, good on XCOPY. 4 years, right? The NFT doesn't function the same, right? And so for them to last, selling their work for 100 something with no proof that this will last, right? And then the dips, right? And $96 ETH or $87 ETH, that outlast that deserves this level of reward, So yeah. We will move on to our last work for the stream. This was sold 11 days ago for 2 million, almost 2 million. Bankrupt all the way down. Again, it's just it's making fun of people who put their money in, all their money into one shit coin, and then get fucking lose all their savings, pretty much, right? And it's like sort of this, that's how they feel. I like the sort of evidence of third eye, because like a lot of people who do these sort of like weird financial moves act as if they have a third eye, and they really don't, right? And it's like, if you're gonna put all your savings into a shitcoin, goddamn, you know. And so, yeah, we're gonna zoom in on this and just die from the noise and the use of the texture. Oh my god, it's like. What? It's like the background is flashing and then the noise is moving, but then part of me is like, is the noise actually pink? Or actually, I don't think the noise changes colors. Like, the noise is a little bit pink, but because of the background blue and stuff, it blends really well. And so, just look how expressive it is, right? And you can tell Hood, the JPEG one. Was that by a known artist? Yeah, this one. This is still by XCOPY. It was sold to 5529. Yeah, but it's still XCOPY. Yeah. We're exclusively looking at XCOPY work this stream. This is not the... I'm curious what this M is for. Maybe it's for money. I mean, look at the eyes. It's just like a little white, like, blotch to the side, and then a black blotch down, and it just tells you they're crying immediately. And then the teeth. Again, it's really expressive work. Oh, I just dragged the wrong thing. Oh, I hate it when this happens. There we go. Like, look at this noise, right? And also the texture that gets utilized here. And we're at the far left here, or far right, right? Look how heavy that is with texture, just moving texture. And it moves, again, it's what, essentially, like, what's being animated here, other than the noise, really, and the color background. Like, if we're talking about, like, classic, like, you know, movement, it's only two things. It's just two eyes. Literally. These are the only two things being animated, and the rest is just flashing and just noise. But look how well it reads. That's why this sort of work deserves 1 million and 2 million and 6 million. Like, it's fucking insane. It's insane. Pranksy was bidding on this. An honorary. God damn, so many people were going after this, because I think this is a recent mint, actually. So, yeah. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's stream. I certainly did. I always enjoy looking at art, especially XCOPY's art. It's always great, and it's very informative, and it teaches you a lot. I personally believe so. And it's so fucking colorful and like quick and nice and like styly, and it's just, oh, it's great. But yeah, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Tomorrow we have our artist talk with Daniel coming out. For those who are curious about Daniel, or Dan, that's him. This is Dan. He's the creator of the Aga auction house, and he's the dude that did Skies. Really great figure in the space. So that's gonna be happening tomorrow, and yeah, again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you ever want to talk to me, or get in contact with me, just tag me at Anubis, or just tag me in the Discord, in the Metakey Discord, and I'll respond to you over there, and tag me in the Duat Residency channel and respond to you over there as well. And if you want to tag me on Twitter, I'm available at Anubis_3100. You can tag me there and I'll respond to you And if you ever want to check out my personal art, just click on this site and this link right here. It will take you to my website. And yeah, yo, King, thank you for coming and hanging out as always, dude. I really appreciate you coming to the streams. It's always fun talking to you, man. And Lynn Turner, welcome to I don't know who you last time you were here and you're like, I'm using an alternative account, but I do not know who you are. But anyways, thank you for coming to the stream as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next